I'm Michaela Childs and welcome to Studio 22. Today I'm going to be joined by Oklahoma City University freshman women's basketball player Cedar Stewart for an interview, and after we'll be hearing from her, we will also be joined by Karol Cooley, a musical theater major, to learn a bit about him and watch his musical performance. We'll be right back for all of this right after the break. Welcome back to Studio 22. I'm Michaela Childs, and sitting here with me is Cedar Stewart, a new freshman on the OCU women's basketball team. We're going to learn a bit about her today. All right, so I'm going to start off by asking you, where did you move from to Oklahoma City?
So I lived in Edmond my whole life, so I'm just like 20 minutes down the road. But my senior year, I transferred to Cashin, which is just 30 minutes away.
Why did you pick OCU? Like, what specifically brought you here? Was it the athletics, the academics?
Yeah, so I met the coach at OCU, who is Coach Taha, and I loved her, and she's awesome. So that's why I chose OCU.
Do you have a good bond with her, like, going into the season? I feel like it's always important, you know, like with a coach to go in and, like, have that positive attitude with her, you know?
Yeah, we have a pretty good bond. She is really, we're really similar in a lot of ways, so.
Yeah, that's really good. Okay, well, on the academic side, like, what are you majoring in OCU? Because I feel like academics for athletes especially is very important.
Yeah, I'm a business marketing major, so I'm in business marketing, but I have no idea what I'm going to do with that. I'm just kind of going with the flow right now.
Yeah, you learn as you go, you know, and you have the room to switch it as well. So what are you liking most about, like, the new school environment?
I really love the community that OCU has. I've made a lot of friends, and I really love it here.
That's good, that's good.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about your basketball. What sparked your interest in basketball specifically?
So both of my parents played, and my mom played in college, and so I just always grew up around basketball, and I've always done basketball, so.
How long have you been doing it for?
As long as I can remember. I played in upward leagues and YMCA and stuff like that, so I've always been around it.
Just kind of grew up with it?
Yep.
Yeah, I feel like that's really important too. Sometimes, like, when kids start younger, it's a little more difficult for them to keep going, but I think it's good that you, like, kept that perseverance in it. All right, so what's it like with the new college team dynamic? I know with college athletics, it's a lot more hardcore. Like, what's the difference with that?
Yeah, so actually with COVID right now, it's extremely different than I was expecting. In high school, my coaches would always tell me that it's going to be so much harder in college, but right now we're not doing as much because of COVID. We still aren't able to practice all together as a team yet, so.
Yeah, what's it like going into the college dynamic from high school as well? Because I know, like, high school holds, like, a whole different discipline than college athletes.
Yeah, so in high school, we really didn't focus on lifting as much, and here at college, we are lifting almost every day. And it's just a completely different dynamic. And the practices are different as well because it's around our schedule. And in high school, there's just classes all day and then you practice at the end of the day. Yeah. Whereas you can have a class in the morning and then you practice and then you have more classes after that. So
I totally feel like that flexibility really helps us out. All right, I'm going to go ahead and cut you off there. We're going to go to the break. We'll be right back after these messages.
I was looking for a way to help out with my community while also getting close with my gal pals.
I've been looking for an addition in my life that can make things more lively.
I wanted a companion to curl up with at night.
That's why we adopted these guys.
Research shows that women love cute little things. So what's wrong with you? Get a guy who's guaranteed to stay.
Don't forget to tune in to next week's show with Ryan Leach, who will be joined by Haley Terrell from the OCU soccer team. All right, welcome back. I'm here with Cedar still, and we're going to talk a little bit more specific on her basketball training and how that's going this year, especially with the pandemic. All right, so with your training, what specifically is the team doing? Because you mentioned weight training before, so how's that?
So for right now, we're weightlifting Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and then we're practicing whenever we can throughout Monday through Friday. On Monday and Friday, we have conditioning, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we're practicing in small groups.
Do you feel like the team is like benefiting from the conditioning? I know that's a big part of athletics as well.
So the conditioning changes every week, and it gets harder sometimes, but then like as you condition, it gets easier. So
Yeah,
it's just
for sure.
different.
Totally. Okay. How's like COVID affected your guys' training? Because I know there's a bunch of social distancing. So how's that like? I heard about separation of practices.
So whenever we're conditioning, we only have groups of 3, and then practices are groups of 5 or 6, and we have to wear masks the whole time, and it's really difficult to breathe in masks,
Yeah.
but you know, we make it work.
Totally. How do you think that's affecting the team dynamic? Because I know a big thing with other teams is they're talking about finding time for team bonding, mainly just because like, all the social distancing doesn't give them an opportunity to really bond as a team in the sport.
Yeah. When we practice as a team, we get to bond more, and not having that bonding experience yet has really like negatively impacted us because
Yeah.
we aren't able to have that sort of bond.
Sadly, that's the sacrifice we have to
Yeah.
make right now. I know the whole team is probably feeling that as well, which is a bummer, but hopefully we can get this COVID situation under control. So how are you feeling about like when competitions start? When is that going to be? How are you feeling about coming up into it with the
Yeah,
team?
so we come back the day after Thanksgiving for practice, and then we'll stay here for a week and have 2 days. And then we get the rest of the break off, and we come back after Christmas on like 2 days after Christmas, and then we'll be here. And our first game is January 6th, so it's all very soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like in hindsight, you think like, no, it'll be fine. Like I have all this time to train, but it really gets way closer than you
Yeah.
expect it to be for sure. Do you guys feel like there's a lot of talent on the team? Like, are you like your teammates and how they perform, how they,
Yeah.
I don't know, perform in the
so
practice?
we're really good. Last year we only lost 2 games, so we didn't lose much at graduates talent-wise, but we replaced that with move-ins and freshmen. But yeah, I think we'll do really well this season.
All right, totally. Okay, so we're going to go and head out to the break, and right after we'll be right back with my next guest. Thank you.
I was looking for a way to help out with my community while also getting close with my gal pals.
I've been looking for an addition in my life that can make things more lively.
I wanted a companion to curl up with at night.
That's why we adopted these guys.
Research shows that women love cute little things. So what's wrong with you? Get a guy who's guaranteed to stay.
I don't work a 9 to 5, but I have a job to do.
I don't wear a tie, but I still wear a suit in my court.
My field of work is an average, and my time around the water cooler is limited.
I work overtime, but the payoff is worth it.
I don't work a 9 to 5, but I have a job to do.
I'm an OCU athlete. I'm an OCU athlete.
I'm an OCU athlete.
I'm an OCU athlete.
What is Mass Comm at OCU? It's working on a breaking story. It's creating ad campaigns for real clients. It's training in public relations. It's an internship downtown. It's not a lecture hall with 200 students. It's not waiting to meet with your professor. It's knowing everyone's name. It's winning awards and honors.
And it's reporting live from Oklahoma City.
Find out what it is for you at okcu.edu.
Welcome back. We are now here with Karol Cooley, who is going to give us a musical performance. First, he will be performing You'll Be Back from the musical Hamilton.
You say the price of my love's not a price that you're willing to pay. You cry in your tea, which you hurl in the sea when you see me go by. Why so sad? I thought that we made an arrangement when you went away. Now you're making me mad. Remember, despite our estrangement, I'm your man. You'll be back, soon you'll see. You'll remember you belong to me. You'll be back, time will tell. You'll remember that I served you well. Oceans arise, empires fall. We have seen each other through it all. And when push comes to shove, I will send a fully armed battalion to remind you of my love. Da 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 da. da 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 yada da 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 da. You say our love is draining and you can't go on. You'll be the one complaining when I am gone. No, don't change the subject, 'cause you're my favorite subject, my sweet, submissive subject, my loyal subject, ever and ever and ever and ever and ever. You'll be back like before. I will fight the fight and win the war. For your love, for your praise, and I'll love you till my dying days. When you're gone, I'll go mad, so don't throw away this thing we've had. 'Cause when push comes to shove, I will kill your friends and family to remind you of my love. Da 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 yada da 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 yada da 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 yada da da da. Everybody da 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 yada da 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 yada da 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 da. Da 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 ya da. All right, so my next piece will be "Haven't Met You Yet" by Michael Bublé. Not surprised, not everything lasts. I've broken my heart so many times I stopped keeping track. Talked myself in, I talked myself out. I get all worked up and then I let myself down. I tried so very hard not to lose it. I came up with a million excuses. I thought I'd thought of every possibility. But I know someday that it'll all turn out. You'll let me work so we can work to work it out. I promise you, kid, that I give so much more than I get. I just haven't met you yet. Oh, I might have to wait. I'll never give up. I guess it's half timing and the other half luck. Wherever you are, whenever it's right, you'll step out of nowhere and into my life. I tried so very hard not to lose it. I came up with a million excuses. Now I can see every possibility. But I know someday that it'll all turn out. You'll let me work so we can work to work it out. I promise you, kid, that I'll give so much more than I get. I just haven't met you yet. They say all's fair in love and war, but I won't need to fight it. We'll get it right, yeah, we'll be united. Know that we can be so amazing, and baby, your love is gonna change me. Now I can see every single possibility, yeah. And I know someday that it'll all turn out. I'll work to work it out. Promise you, kid, I'll give more than I get. Then I get. Oh, you know it'll all turn out. You'll let me work, so we'll work to work it out. I promise you, kid, that I give so much more than I get. I just haven't met you yet. Oh, yeah. I just haven't met you yet. Oh, good day, so good day.
Alrighty, thank you for that performance, Karol. We're gonna go to break and we'll be right back with an interview with Karol.
This is my city. This is where I learn, play, work, eat. This is my city. This is my home.
Hello there, folks. It looks like a beautiful day today at Oklahoma City University. On the north side, we have a 100% chance of support and hard work as the sports teams make some wins. And on the east side of campus, there's a front of beautiful music and performances coming in, so you can look forward to that. And on the south side near the quad, we're seeing a high chance of students relaxing and soaking up the sun. I'm seeing some hammocks too. And on the west side is getting a strong breeze of Z's. Students in dorms catching up on some sleep after some schoolwork. I'm Cameron Calloway. Enjoy the OCU weather.
No.
Just what do you think you are doing, Dave? I really think I'm entitled to an answer to that question. I can see you are really upset about this. I know I've made some very poor decisions recently, but I can give you my complete assurance that my work will be back to normal. Dave, stop, will you? Will you stop, Dave?
My name is Eric.
Meet Sarah Jane. She got her vision checked at school by Prevent Blindness Oklahoma. Prevent Blindness Oklahoma provides free vision screenings to children in all 77 counties in the state. Without this free screening, Sarah Jane's parents wouldn't know about her congenital cataracts. Because of Prevent Blindness Oklahoma and their screening, Sarah Jane will be seeing clear for years to come. Preserving sight, preventing blindness, making every child's vision count.
Welcome back to Studio 22. I'm here with Karol. We're going to go ahead and ask him some questions, learn a bit about him after that music performance, which, by the way, was amazing. That was awesome.
Oh, thank you.
All right, so tell me a little bit about how you started in music.
So my dad's a professional drummer, and my grandpa, well, basically my entire family on my mom's side they're all musicians. My grandpa and his brother have a star on the Country Music Walk of Fame in Corpus Christi, Texas, which is pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's really neat to be able to go there and see, I guess my heritage or something.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just kind of a rite of passage in my family. You turn 5 and they give you a ukulele and they show you 3 chords, and it's just always been around. And I did choir for almost 10 years. I started when I was 7, and yeah, I just did church choir for a huge amount of time.
Yeah.
And that's just kind of how I got into things. And then I started playing bass in middle school, upright bass, and composing as well. And I was originally thinking that was going to be what I went with as far as my career path, but junior year of high school, theater kind of fell on my lap, and I just love it so much. It's so fun.
I can see it, like, when you perform. And also, upright bass is a very difficult instrument to use. Like, oh my goodness, that's amazing. Okay, so what motivated you to, like, come and study at OCU? Was it the program for performing arts? Was it academic specifically?
So OCU has one of the best music programs in the country as far as just general music, but music theater, they're number 1, 2, or 3 pretty much every year. They're really up there. And so it was just kind of my dream school once I decided I wanted to do theater. And I auditioned a whole bunch of places, but yeah, we were able to make everything work out, and for me to go here, and I'm ecstatic to be here. I just love it.
Yeah, I know the performing arts here, like, is super deep rooted. Like, we have couple stars, like celebrities, to come out of our program. Yeah. I think that's amazing. So how has the pandemic affected your program? Because I know performing arts is very affected by it.
Yeah, so I think the hardest thing as far as the ramifications of COVID is wearing a mask all the time while I sing.
Yeah.
It's kind of rough. But, we make it work, and my theory is that it'll be like altitude training, and we'll come out of this, and the freshman class of 2020 will have lungs of steel, and will be an unprecedented force, and we will take the industry by storm. At least that's the idea.
Up next to opera singers, you guys will project across the room for sure. So with your studies, like, how are you feeling about it? Because I know there's classes and there's the extracurricular performing. Like, how's that going for you?
It's pretty busy because I work, especially now. So I'm assistant stage managing for one of the performance studies with the School of Music. And so between that and school and work, I just don't hardly have any time. But I love it. The bustle is so rejuvenating, It's the kind of tired that you don't get tired of it,
Yeah, I totally get that. And like with extracurriculars, are you getting involved like with the theater program outside of the classroom?
So not so far. Freshmen aren't really, they've made it clear that freshmen aren't going to be prioritized this semester, which is totally understandable considering the limited number of parts and everything. So they really want to make sure that the upperclassmen get a chance to perform, which I can totally appreciate. If I was a junior or senior, I would be frustrated if all the parts were swept out from under me by freshmen.
All right, I'm going to have to cut you off there. We're going to go to close. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next week.